All right, it's comparison time. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video. But we're going to compare the most expensive ESP that you can find versus the LTD version of that guitar. So this is a ESP George Lynch signature Kamikaze. This is like a late 80s. It's either somewhere between an 88 to a 1990. And it's pretty much all stock except for someone's put some Seymour Duncans in it, and they put these mini switches in it. And then I've also got the LTD, which is the GL200K, which is the cheapest Kamikaze they've ever made. These things were like $500 when they were new. This one has been upgraded with a Duncan distortion and a Duncan hot rails in the neck, and it is a shred beast. It does have a Floyd Rose special in the bridge that I plan on changing out here before too long. But it's been thoroughly set up by my guy that handles all my guitars for me. The action on this guitar is actually so low you can't even put the back plate back on it. It plays and sounds so good. So, and it just took, a $60 setup and some pickups, and it's just amazing. This guy, on the other hand, just arrived last night. These are going for $5 to $6 grand. This one had these mini switches on it, which kind of hurts the value of it. I bought this one used from Guitar Center for about $3,000, which is a deal on one of these guitars. But the one thing that I can't stand is these screw Floyd Rose adjusters. They're like screws that go down in the body, and they only go down so far. And this thing is lowered all the way down, and the action is still too high. It really would have to go down about 3 more turns to be right, and it just ain't going to happen. So I could put new posts in it, but I'm not going through all that trouble. I'm probably going to return this guitar to Guitar Center regardless if it's a great deal or not. These early Kamikazes are much like an early N4 where they were very handmade, and they're just not, things don't line up on them properly, if you know what I mean. So the other thing is they're incredibly heavy. They're made out of maple. They weigh like 11 pounds versus this guitar probably weighs half that. So as far as being comfortable to play, two totally different guitars. This one's got a rosewood board on it. This is really nice. This one's got an ebony board. So when it comes to the components, there's really not that much of a comparison. This is the better guitar all day, and I could probably spend a bunch of money and make this one, a super badass guitar, but I really just don't feel like investing the money in it right now. I've got several projects going on, and this does not need to be another one. So in comparison, which guitar would I keep? Which guitar would I play on a regular basis? This one right here. This guitar cost me like $400. I spent a couple hundred on it fixing it up. So I've got like $600 in it versus a $6,000 Kamikaze. If I wanted to buy a Kamikaze right now, they're $5,900. They're pretty much $6 grand. 600, $6 grand. So that's pretty much the comparison. And for the money, I would rather play that. I really don't care about the name on the top of it. It's still a Kamikaze. It still looks cool. I have to tell you that, the videos that I've shared on this guitar and the little shorts that I share on it and the pictures that I post online probably have gotten the most attention of any guitar that I've ever posted, and it's a cheap LTD versus a $6,000 guitar. So the weird thing about these made in Japan Kamikazes is, they're $5 or $6 grand, but a new one's $5 or $6 grand. So typically, one from the 80s would be like $8,000, but that just really hasn't happened with the market. They kind of max out at what they're selling for now, but ESP is just like, hey, if they're bringing 5 or 6,000, we're just going to ask that for a new one, which is kind of silly. I think they're way, way overpriced, priced themselves out of the market right now. The new Desert Eagle version of this guitar is like $8 grand. $7,900, and I think the LTD version of it, the Desert Eagle, is which is the kind of the American Indian version of a Kamikaze. is $1,700. Now that seems crazy, but it's a totally different guitar than this one you're looking at. It already comes with really upgraded pickups, stainless steel frets, ebony board. It's a really, really, really nice Korean-made guitar. So it's 3 times the guitar of what this thing was new. So it should be $1,700. It's going to be a great quality guitar, and I look forward to getting one as soon as they come out. That's one of the reasons I'm returning this one, because I am going to get that Desert Eagle when it comes out. So anyway, I hope this comparison was good. If you're thinking about buying a Japanese Kamikaze or an LTD, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. Have a great day.